Hey, what's up, guys? All right, welcome. It's been a long time. We met here. Trust all are doing well. Look at this fix a little bit here. Okay. Okay, so I have been talking for a while and my microphone was turned off. That hurts. That hurts. The realization is heartbreaking. Okay, so I'm just going to take this over again. So in case you start watching this, just know that from 11, that's when I just started talking because I just realized that I've been talking all this while and 11 minutes, nobody was hearing what I was saying. Okay, so because my audio was mute. Okay, so I wanted to talk about a question that someone asked me. But first of all, I want to say welcome to everyone who actually dropped the questions because we've got about 36 questions in total. I'm not sure how many of these questions I want to respond to because we just have limited time, maybe an hour to complete this. But I'm going to try to do as much as possible to answer as many questions as I can. Like I said, we have 36 questions, and I want to see how I can just help with those questions. And one of the questions I want to respond to is a question that someone asked. And that question is very important because I faced similar problems when I started using Canva like full time, and that was in 2019. And this was a bigger problem. And I wanted to just find a way around it to pass that. And the question is, how do I download? How do I make sure? Let me just read up some questions here so you know I'm not paraphrasing the question. How do I ensure my designs are high resolution and print ready when downloading them from Canva? Okay, this is very simple. Very simple. If you are using a pro account, Canva is now a better tool compared to how it was 2019. You can't compare the progress so far. It has become better in the way it delivers designs on export. But if you are using, so if you're a pro user account, you would not have a problem with this. But if you are a free Canva user, you might have a bit of challenge. It's not something you can't deal with, but I'm going to tell you why you need to just do this that I'm going to mention. So the first thing you want to do is determine the document size that you want to use. Remember, if you are a pro user account and you want to download something in Canva, you're going to notice that uh, there's a settings you can actually include that can help you increase the size, not the size, the size of the document. And this is just using this progress bar that you can just drag it. You can just continue, increasing into the kilobytes and megabytes that you want. And if you increase the dimension, you also see the possible download size right there. You can do that if you have a pro account. But if you don't have a pro account, you're not going to see that feature. And I think that's also one of the great things where um, for you to actually know if you want to use Canva, I think you need to try the app first. All right. And try the pro features and see, like, oh, well, I can't use the pro features all the time. Or what I'm just using is just the basic free features. You can determine if that is what you want to do. It just depends on what you want to do, right? So just figure it out and see if that's like, just give it a try. Okay. Try Canva Pro maybe for 30 days and see if this is exactly what you want. Cancel before the, the the due date, but you have nothing to lose. I think it's just something very important that you can actually do. Um, so I just want to put this out here. Just a second. Just a second. Just a second. Just a second. I want to. I want to share this. I want to share this to other people as well, so they can just join. Okay, so they can actually join. Um, just going to copy this link here. Going to share it. Okay, I think this is very important. I'm gonna share that. Just get that. Um, okay. Um, just a second. I need to just put this so my community can actually see this as well. Okay, not everyone is gonna see this, but I think it's just important that I just share this. All right, so let's go there. Okay. So let's post that. We also need to post it on this community here. So just a few seconds. I'm gonna just answer that. I want to make sure that this is reaching out. So let's do that here. All right. Okay. So we also need to put that on. Let's put that here as well. Okay. Okay. So like I was talking about that question, right? So a lot of people are not sure how to actually do that. But what you have to do is go right, know the dimension of what you want to create. And I'm going to give an example. You want to create something 1080 by 1080, 1080 by 1080 pixels, and you are using a free account. The mistake a lot of you do is that you go ahead and just choose the Instagram document size for 1080 by 1080. Well, it's not going to work. All right. There's no better way to say it. It's not going to work for you. It might work on social media platforms, but when you want to share that on the larger screen or share it over social media or over messaging apps like Instagram, like our WhatsApp and the rest of them, the quality would definitely drop. And that's what you don't want to happen. The quality will definitely drop. It's going to lose quality. And because it's losing quality, then you don't want that to happen. So what do you do? If you've been following me for a long time since 2019, you'd notice that one of the things I've always mentioned will be always, always. The first thing you do, I do it on a free account, even if I'm using a free account, a pro account, I go straight and I multiply 1080 by 2. Okay? 1080 by 2. And that is what I'm going to use. Sometimes I just decide to use 2000 by 2000. And whenever I use that, I go ahead and download my designs. The reason here is, and there's a lot of advantage to this. And I'll just tell you one. For instance, if you go ahead to say you want to, if you say you want to, if you say you want to, for instance, curve a cover shape. All right, you want to curve a shape. You want to give it rounded corners and stuff like that. It's going to be very difficult for you to do because you are using 1080 by 1080. But you can have more rounded corners that are actually seamless if you have a larger document size. I think that's just the trick to this. If you have a large document size, you can actually, you can remember that your zoom level is just 500. And if you are on a small, if you are actually using a smaller document size, you would not be able to do that because it's going to be very, very small. You just cannot space your work. When you're using your arrow keys to shape, you actually won't be able to do that. So what I usually tell you is, before you start your design, before you start any design at all on Canva, whether you're using a pro account or a free account, make sure to double the size of what you are creating. Make sure to double the size of what you are creating. So if you're on a free account and you are the one who asked this question or via email, and your question was, how do I ensure that your designs are always low quality whenever you download them? How can you get a high quality print ready design when you actually using Canva? So I think it's just how this solves the problem for you. What you need to do first is make sure that you double the size of what you're creating. if you want to design a logo in Canva, you don't have to go 500 by 500. Yes, that's what you do if you're using Photoshop or Illustrator or whatever. But if you are using Canva, please double the size to, if you're using 500, double it to 1,000. If you're using 1,000, double it to 2,000 or 3,000. If you check my designs, most of the time, all of my designs are, if there's a square post, is actually 3,000 by 3,000. That way, because I use Canva Pro, that way, when I want to increase the download quality, when I want to download, what you notice is that I have more controls. I can now download a document of 15 megabyte and it could have been 5. It all depends on what you just want to do, right? But I think this is actually going to solve. I wanted to bring this up because I've talked about this in my community over and over and over and over. And if you've been there, if you've been following me for a while, you know I've always mentioned this. Always double the size of your default document type. We've got a lot of questions here, a lot of questions, at least 36 questions here. But I think the other question I'm going to be taking right now is, someone is mentioning, this question is, I want to take 2 of them. This is the same thing. You're asking about how to down export high quality design. It's just the same thing. So I've answered the question already. Just start from 11. That's where I started answering that question. And I didn't mention, this is actually a pen. This is actually a Canva pen. All right. And I think this shirt as well. It's also a Canva shirt. So the other question I wanted to ask, I want to answer here is, someone is asking a question: what is the difference between Canva Pro and Canva Free? One gives you the ability to design and even skew your designs without restrictions. All right. It gives you access to everything, every single thing on Canva. While the other one is limited, you can't remove background. You don't have access to some apps that are natively built in Canva, and you don't want to face that, right? It's just the big difference there. See, you would not be able to enjoy your designs. Just like this, you can't resize your designs, okay? You can't increase the quality of designs when you want to download. You can't download something with a transparent background. That's the difference between a pro account and also a free account. So there's a lot of them, but you can still make your research and see. And there's a lot of them, a lot of things you cannot do. You can't do the magic grab thing, using you can't remove background and drag this, extract text from that. You actually can't do that. And also, if you want to use the Canva generated AI image generated platform, you would just have limited credits to use every month. But as a pro user, you get about 500 credits. That's like a lot, right? So there's a lot of things, and it's just similar to Midjourney, right? Remember, Canva last year acquired Leonardo AI, and because of that, you can actually generate images like you do on Midjourney in generative AI. Yeah, I'm actually liking this. I just haven't put my area very well. I just wanted to bump in to just do this, but I think I'm going to be doing more of live sessions with you guys. I'm going to be doing more of that. Now, I guess I answered that question. Yes, is Canva free for commercial use? Well, this is a legal question. This is a question that can actually be answered by Canva's legal team. But here's what I know about commercial and free things you can do in Canva. Well, yes, you can actually create things in Canva that you can sell. I have a lot of things. I have a lot of things that I have actually created and sold in Canva, from templates to elements to logos, just name it, right? But what you need to do is, if you are using a free account, you actually don't go ahead creating things using, you can't create, you just have to change what you're working on. It's like going to download a photo and you want to use that particular picture. Make sure that you edit the picture a little bit to not look like the original. That way you have edited the picture, right? But Canva is actually free and you can use it for commercial purposes. But I think to properly answer that question so you don't get into trouble, I think you can actually go ahead and ask the legal team. They would be able to you can also go to Canva's legal website and check the legal terms, and you should be able to get that. But it's actually free. Canva is free. And the other following question here is someone is asking if you can use Canva for free. Of course, I'm sure you do have Canva on your phone. You can use it for free. You can use Canva for free. Yes, you can use Canva for free. It depends on what you want to do with it, but um, you can actually use Canva for free. If you're joining this, I would like you to give this video a like, and if you haven't subscribed, I would really like you to subscribe. I really do like this live thing because it just takes. I'm really connecting with you on a very deeper level, and I think I'm going to be doing this even more often. Maybe twice a week. I would just come on here and pick up a design. I'll show you guys what to do. I think I'm going to do that even more. So just stick around and see what this will turn out to be. All right, and then we got another stuff here. What are my thoughts? Okay, this question is quite. What are my thoughts? Or what do I have to say about the apps in Canva? So here are the thing. Now, when Canva started, right, there are some things Canva did not build natively. When we say natively, it means something was not built directly into that particular platform when they were building it from scratch. There was no roadmap for that. But then the platform started to grow, and Canva decided they were going to open their API to other developers, so other developers can actually start creating their apps and putting it in Canva to extend the functionality of your use when you're using the Canva app. So that's where Canva apps is coming into the picture. All right. But one thing you need to also know is that for the Canva apps, not every there are actually some apps that are not good. I'm gonna be very honest with you, right? There are some apps that, well, maybe they're still working on them, but they're not at their optimal best at the moment. But there are also some apps that can help you achieve better. So I can actually say I like the fact that we can now use other apps. I'm also part of the developers community, also part of the developers for Canva as well, for on the app level who can actually create apps and publish in Canva. So that is a very interesting thing to do. If you're also a developer or you have a developer friend, that's something you can actually put out. You can put out your app and say, okay, this app is for sale or so, whatever way. But my thoughts about it is it's actually increasing the functionality and how far people are actually pushing Canva. So there's an app in Canva that allows you to skew things, right? You can change perspective of things. Normally you can't do this with Canva, right? But developers having access to the Canva's API can actually do these things and create this app. So right now you can go to Canva and just go search in the app, and you can have these apps just working for you. You know, you can skew things, change perspective, make, different ways. So for me, it's a very good thing. And it's a positive thing. I believe that there's capacity for that to grow even in the future. A lot of tools are there for AI too. There is actually a tool right there that allows you to convert your images into SVGs, and just really amazing, cool stuff there. So I think the potential is really high. All right, the potential is really high. And like I said, if you're joining, I'm seeing most of you coming in. I'm seeing some persons coming in. If you're coming, please, I want you to give this video a like. And if you haven't subscribed, I want you to do that. That's your way of supporting this community, supporting this channel. I want you to like this video and also subscribe to it. Okay, so let's go to the next question. I'm actually looking at the questions because most of these questions are like, oh, it's like everybody's asking similar things, right? So someone is asking, is Canva free for students and NGO? I want to answer this question because I think it's really interesting. So in 2020, I was invited by Canva through one of my very great friends, Rani. I was invited to come and speak with Canva, alongside Canva, to join their team, and also deliver a presentation at Leap Africa in Lagos. And they were talking about what I was talking about was design for change makers, right? And one thing that actually we did, because when they came, because I was part of the Canva team, we went around and joined we went to the Minister of Education, I think for primary education or so, Sabeb. We went there, we talked about this, and we let them know that actually at that point where we're there with the Canva team, that if you are a nonprofit, because it was a nonprofit event, remember that Leap Africa is a nonprofit event. So anyone who was at that program and had an NGO got a Canva account for free. All you need to do is submit a document. If you're also a student, I think there is an option for you to get that. But I do know for teachers, I know there is an option for teachers, for educators. All right. So there is what is called Canva for Education. You can look that up. Most apps today actually have a plan for educators. So go check that out, Canva for Education, and also Canva for nonprofit. But you would have to submit that you are currently in the education line, or you are the owner of a nonprofit, and also you need to also make that clear that you have the document, because they will actually need the documents to know that that is that is actually what it is. Okay. So yes, there's something like that. You can use that for, but I'm not sure about students, so you can actually go check that out. Can you use Canva to create professional design? Definitely. You've seen most of my designs. I know you've seen a lot of my designs, so you can actually tell that they are actually professional. So I use almost every tool for designs, but the tool I've been using consistently for the past 5 years is actually Canva. Consistently, whenever I turn on my laptop and I want to do a work for a client, it's Canva. And the Canva market is growing. It's really big. It's very huge. It's very big. And yeah, I think it's the potential is there. Oh yeah. So we've got another question here. There are actually a lot of questions, but I'm just choosing. I'm trying to look at the questions to actually answer, because most of them are like similar. So someone is asking, are there any ideas? Is there any way I can get a Canva Pro account for free? Okay, in all honesty, the only way you can get a Canva Pro for free, you can get it in two ways. In two ways, only two ways, just two. This is the only way you can get Canva Pro for free. Any other way is an illegal way of getting Canva Pro. Number one is if you get a Canva Pro link to get access to try Canva Pro for a certain amount, for a certain period of time, maybe 5 months, maybe 6 months, maybe a voucher to use Canva Pro. That's one way. The other way is if you're an NGO or if you are an educator. That way you can get access to Canva Pro. Now, I've seen a lot of people who sell Canva Pro who tell you, oh, they have Canva Pro for sale for a very ridiculous price. Don't do it. Don't do it at all, because it's an illegal way to do that. And I think you would not grow like that. You would not grow. You would never grow if you do that. You can't grow. You can't grow past the level, right? I think that it's better you try Canva Pro for a couple. And that's one of the reasons why I really want to even talk about this, because the importance there is, if you try Canva Pro for 30 days and you actually use Canva Pro the way I use Canva Pro, you should be able to raise the amount of money you want to use to start subscribing to Canva Pro. And if you live in Nigeria, it's pretty cheap, very cheap. All right, it's ridiculously cheap. All right, you can actually do that. So, but you can use the Canva Pro and actually upgrade from there. Try Canva Pro for 30 days, and you can just continue going that way. And you can see that the more you use, just use 2 weeks to practice, and then use the other 2 weeks to look for clients, to find clients. You would make the money for Canva Pro for a year. I guarantee you that. I've done it before, so I know it's possible, right? Yeah, you all know that if you want to talk about Canva design, you just have to come to me, right? I'm like, I know my stuff very well, right? So that's it. But I wouldn't suggest that you go and use Canva Pro, buy in from someone else. What they do is just give you access to their education account, and you don't want to do that. It's illegal. All right. You don't want to do that. I would report your account if I see that. All right. I would report your account because I'm a Canva promoter and ambassador. So I would definitely call you out. Okay, so another question. Please, I want you to like this video. If you're watching this, I want you to like this video. That's one thing that I want you to do. I want you to like this video and subscribe if you haven't, okay? And subscribe if you haven't. That's one way you can actually support this. Like and subscribe if you haven't, okay? All right, now I'm gonna go to the other question here. Like I said, all of these questions are they're just quite similar, but I'm just picking the ones that will answer to the general topic. Okay. So what is my experience using Canva as a design tool? I think it's very easy. Now, I'm not saying that you should abandon your own design tool. No, don't do that.